Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, so it's very much a different day, but I want to film for yesterday's video.
Okay.
So it was closing night of Narnia. How do you feel?
Sick.
Hey, Sal.
I got a cold. And it's definitely going away. I feel it going away. But also in the mornings, it's just really bad. It's always worse in the mornings.
True.
So.
Let's talk about things that happened to us, things we learned.
This is my first middle school show middle school only show that I've ever done. I was very apprehensive to do it because I knew how much work it would be and I wasn't sure how much support I would get from not only my school but the community. But my principal reassured me that we would have the financial support that we needed, and basically he told me that we could have whatever we wanted. So we kind of took advantage of that a little bit. But if you tell me there's no budget, then I'm gonna get what I want. What did I learn from that experience? I learned that there's a very large difference in behavior between high schoolers and middle schoolers. And I think the fact that they were only middle schoolers made it worse, because last year I did middle school and high school Willy Wonka.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the middle schoolers were always afraid of the high schoolers. And so they didn't really act out or behave a certain way. But this one, when it was only middle schoolers, they behaved how I expected middle schoolers would. I've never yelled so much in my entire life.
They're so loud. They have so much energy.
They have so much energy. Not like angry yelling.
No, just like to be heard.
Yeah, to be heard. I mean, there were a few moments where I had to get like angry at them to like make them understand what was happening and what I was going through. But for the most part, they seemed like they enjoyed the experience. All of them were in tears closing night, so
We'll say they enjoyed it.
But me personally, I learned that it was hard and it was a lot of work, but there was a good payout. It was very rewarding, I guess you could say, because they are the next generation of high school students that I'm going to have. So grabbing them that soon, I feel, was really good.
Well, and it was nice to see what we have in the younger grades before we have to cast for Adams.
Yeah.
To see what kind of talent we're going to get coming in. How did it affect your personal life?
What do you mean?
Well,
how did it affect us as a couple?
Well, and like you as an individual, and like just emotionally and like mentally, not so much as like as a teacher or as a director, but just like as a human being.
I feel like I lost my ability to be patient as a person. Like I even carried it over into the high school, where like if someone did something wrong, I was very quick to like snap at them and correct them, where beforehand I would have like taken a step back and like looked at it from their point of view. But like I feel like the middle schoolers took that ability away from me because I couldn't, like I needed them to stop right then and there. And so I feel like that I carried that over into my other areas of my life.
I didn't wash my hair for like a week and a half, so
gross.
That's gross.
I showered every day.
Well, I showered every day. I just didn't wash my hair. It was interesting to me not only to see the behavioral difference, but like the comprehension difference. Like kids asked me questions that I was like, I would have thought was just like, I don't know, common sense. But like a lot of them hadn't done shows before. And so like they had a lot of different questions than I was used to getting, because I usually work with the high schoolers who have all done shows with me.
But also, I'm noticing that it's not necessarily the middle schoolers. It's the grades coming in. because even in my classes, I have a lot of like 8th graders who will ask me questions that I find very elementary.
So it's the age, not necessarily
Yeah, I
just
think it's,
like...
and I didn't have that last year. Like the 8th graders, like I never had an 8th grader where I was like, are you still in elementary school? Like, what's happening? Why are you asking me these stupid questions? I never had that last year, but this year, there's something with the incoming 8th graders that they still ask very basic elementary questions.
Well, like, for me, I always felt like they were just asking questions for the sake of, like, speaking.
Yeah.
Like, they want to, like, talk to you, and so they come up with, like, a stupid question to ask. And you're like, what?
So, and I feel like that's the bulk of the 8th graders that I teach this year.
Yeah.
They're still just very like, hey, Mr. Sorensen, what's your favorite color? And it's just very elementary.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about the 8th graders, but that's what I'm noticing.
I'm really glad we started with a show that needed so much, like, character makeup, because it's taught me that I think even if there weren't necessarily character makeup with the middle schoolers, I probably want makeup help every year, just because the age difference, and if they've never done shows before, like, they don't know what they're doing for stage makeup, and it just eliminates 800 people from asking me to help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I was a wreck. This did not go emotionally well or mentally well for me.
How so?
Well, like I was saying before, I don't know what it was about this show, but it like was more overwhelming to me than other shows have been.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I added that extra element of like the makeup. Because it's not like I was backstage for Ernest helping with stuff, so it wasn't that, but it might just have been the sheer, like, because I wasn't backstage for Wonka. So I think it might have been a combination of the fact that there were so many kids that I was having to be backstage with, and the fact that we were adding that extra element of I had to take care of doing people's makeup, and I think the age and all the younger kids always trying to, like, ask questions and, like, just getting in the way. But I also feel like I, in my personal life, made some choices that made me too busy outside of the show, so it just stressed me more. Because I was trying to do so much during the day and then go to rehearsal and do so much, and it was just, like, breaking me. And there were days where, like, I just wanted to cry over really stupid things.
Sometimes you did.
I did. That's true. There were days I cried over stupid things. But I feel like most every day there was something that would happen that I would, like, have to tell myself it was too stupid to cry over. But, like, I just feel like I was an emotional mental wreck. And I felt like I was just falling apart. And I never wanted to do anything. I'd get home and it reminded me of before we were treating my postpartum, when all I would do was just sit on the couch all day and feel depressed that I didn't have the energy to do what I needed to do, and feel like a horrible person because I wasn't doing what I needed to do, but I couldn't muster up the energy to actually do anything. And, like, that's what it felt like.
You overloaded yourself.
Yeah. I think that I have a tendency to want to help so much that I say yes to too many people at once.
True.
And it's been kind of a nightmare for me.
It's been a very eye-opening experience.
Yeah. I have to step back and I have to realize that if I'm going to help at the school, then I have to limit what I'm trying to do outside of production, because production leaks into my everyday life as well. You know, I've got to take care of costume repairs, and, you know, I was making props and stuff when I was at home, and, like, that has to be my focus if that's what I'm going to do, especially going into Adam's Family, where I'm also going to be choreographing. Like, I need to be aware that it's okay to say no when people ask me to do things, because I already have so much going on.
The bad thing about your position is that you have a full-time job, but you don't get paid for it.
That's true. That's just what it is when you marry a drama teacher, though. Especially when you marry a drama teacher and you have a degree in theater. Like,
We're the dynamic duo.
he's never not going to ask me to help.
Sometimes I ask you to help more.
Like by choreographing.
I say, make my costumes and then also choreograph. Thanks.
But that's the thing, is I would rather be helping you, and I would rather be like heavily involved in your shows than not be supporting you because I'm doing things for other people.
Yeah.
Because it's more important to me that my kids grow up seeing me support dad and helping dad and working together as a family than my kids watch me work all day and me have to be like, mommy's working, mommy's working.
I gotta go to my sewing room.
Yeah. And so I'd rather be overly involved with you than overly involved with other ambitions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been very eye-opening.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's kind of working out. So it's going to be fine for
Yeah.
Adams. But
All things for a reason.
yeah, but it's kind of been a crazy couple weeks. And I literally have just felt like my brain is broken and I'm falling apart.
Well, it's over now. You can take a breath.
a half a second breath and then choreograph an audition dance for Adam's family. Anyway,
But I feel like that's stuff you enjoy doing.
it's true, I
and
do.
you don't have anyone telling you what to do or how to be or how to behave, and like these are choices that you get to make.
And I think that's what I like about, because my dream job has always been to be a stay-at-home mom, but even though I'm at home, like I still want to be doing stuff. Like I love doing your costumes and stuff because I, as an individual, don't like having a boss. Is that like an awful thing to say? I enjoy doing things. Like I loved the work that I did when I worked at the Hale, but like I just wanted to be responsible for myself. I wanted there to be a list of things that needed to get done and me to do them in the order I wanted to do them in, and just not have to necessarily be accountable to anyone, because it stresses me out. My anxiety gets so bad when I'm worried about the judgment of other people and being accountable to someone else, because I just stress about all the little details and I get so anxious, and it just isn't healthy for me. And jobs do that to me. Derek and I worked together at a place that literally I quit in tears because it just...
Sucks your soul.
It sucked my soul, and it was so... Like, there was so much anxiety involved in that it just, like, I couldn't handle it. And I just was, like, having mental breakdowns every day.
Yeah.
And, like, what you do really affects your whole life. Anyway, now we've been rambling for, like, 13 minutes. But
you did a 13-minute rant video.
Congrats.
It wasn't really a rant. It was a reflection.
It was a reflection, because I just wanted, because this was our first middle school only show, and I know that when we first started, we were very apprehensive and hesitant about doing it. Like, honestly, we didn't want to do it. We tried to, like...
I tried to get out of it.
Get out of it. The reason, like, this show cost as much as it did is because Derek literally said to me, just pick whatever you want for costumes, because he was kind of hoping that his principal would be like, oh no, that's too expensive.
I warned him that it would cost that much money.
Yeah.
And like we did okay.
But
for what it was.
Yeah, but like now that we've done it, like it was not as horrible as we thought it was going to be. And I think it's important for us to remember that and to reflect on the fact that when we try, we enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And the kids enjoyed it, and
yeah.
that's what's important.
And that's what that was like my main point that I would make to my principal. And I said a kid would rather have an excellent, outstanding, good-looking, good-sounding, praised production than a mediocre middle school production. And so I said, if I do this, I'm gonna go all out, and I'm gonna make it good.
And like the people that came and saw it, the community was astounded by this production, because the last middle school only show, like we have seen videos of it, and it was
so bad.
So bad. There was essentially no set. The costumes were horrendous, and so to turn that around and have this one have such a nice, well thought out set, and have everyone in costumes that they didn't have to provide themselves, that were all like cohesive, like it blew this this community away, and it
Never
has,
had so many handshakes saying,
Yeah.
we're glad you're here.
it has completely changed the way that the community views middle school productions, which is so important to the middle schoolers to want to continue. So that's our reflection for you.
Oh,
Anyway,
such hard work.
thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always,
Have courage.
be kind.